Thanks, you guys. Good to see so many friends here today. Thank you. It's an honor to be joined today by Governor Chris Christie. I have behind me a man who's an American hero. He's been battling to rein in the excesses of the government in New Jersey. He's a real hero in Republican circles because he's a man who's been forthright, been clear in his desire to rein in the excessive spending, to hold down debt, and to do his best to get New Jersey working again for the people of New Jersey. He's a man who has a following of a lot of folks across this country. And so when he indicated a willingness to join my team, I could not have been more pleased and more happy. He came in at a time when New Jersey was facing extraordinarily high deficits, calls for higher taxes, people wondering what their future might be, a lot of folks in the middle class wondering if they could make it in New Jersey. And by virtue of his leadership, people in that state have a much different view about the future. And I'm pleased and proud to announce that my friend Chris Christie is joining our team, and I'm delighted to have him here today. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Listen, I'm here in New Hampshire today for one simple reason. America cannot survive another 4 years of Barack Obama, and Mitt Romney is the man we need to lead America, and we need him now. So that's why I'm here. If you look at Governor Romney's experience, his experience in the private sector, running businesses, turning them around, going in there, telling the people the truth about what needed to be done, and then coming up with a plan to get it done, and look at his experience as an elected official, we know that he brings the best of both to what we need for America right now. He brings that great private sector experience, and he brings the experience as governor of Massachusetts knowing how government works. Not a legislator trying to figure out how to use executive power, but an executive who's used executive power will use it to make American lives better. That's why I'm endorsing Mitt Romney for President of the United States. And as Republicans, our number one goal this year has to be to preserve our American way of life. And that American way of life was built by entrepreneurship, was built by allowing the unleashing of American spirit and American inventiveness on the economy and growing a bigger and bigger pie. I'll tell you the biggest difference between Mitt Romney and the President of the United States. The President of the United States has unleashed his campaign strategy already, and that is to divide America. To tell Americans who are not doing well right now and who are scared, he wants to tell them that the pie of America is only so big, and that if you want more, we have to take it from others. I know that Mitt Romney believes that the American pie can be grown bigger, that it can be an infinite size because of the infinite nature of American ingenuity and effort and character. That's what this election is going to be about. And the American people are going to decide that they want to believe in American optimism over American division, that they want to believe in somebody who believes America's future can be greater, not someone who's trying to divide an ever-shrinking pie among the American people. And so it's been really, in the end, an easy decision for me. I know that America needs a new course, and I wanted to be with the person who I believe will be the best person to lead America on that course, and that's Governor Mitt Romney. So I'm thrilled to be here today. Mitt, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Let me turn to questions you have. Mark?
Governor Christie, I want to ask you, on Friday, Governor Perry was introduced to an event by someone who's very warm in faith in the past. The Perry campaign approved that. What do you think of the tactic of impugning someone's religion as part of a campaign? And Governor Romney, you've been silent up until now. What do you think about what happened on Friday?
Well, listen, my attitude about this is the same as my attitude has been about those folks in New Jersey who disparaged in both parties my decision to appoint a Muslim judge. I mean, these type of religious matters have nothing to do with the quality of somebody's ability to lead. You have to evaluate their record, evaluate their character and their integrity, not based upon their religious beliefs, but based upon who they are. And I think that any campaign that associates itself with that type of conduct is beneath the office of President of the United States, in my view.
Amen. Mark, Governor Perry selected an individual to introduce him who then used religion as a basis for which he said he would endorse Governor Perry and a reason to not support me. And Governor Perry then said that introduction just hit it out of the park. I just don't believe that that kind of divisiveness based upon religion has a place in this country. I believe in the spirit of the founders when they suggested in crafting this country that we would be a nation that tolerated other people, different faiths, that we'd be a place of religious diversity, and that respect they embodied in the Constitution itself. In Article 6 of the Constitution, saying a religious test would not become part of selecting a candidate in the United States. I believe in the spirit of that embodiment and in the nature of the nation that's been crafted. And I would call upon Governor Perry to repudiate the sentiment and the remarks made by that pastor.
Do you have any doubt that Governor Perry knew when he selected him that he was someone who'd impugned your religion?
I don't know what Governor Perry knew when. Any other questions? If not, thank you. No.
Christie, you spoke at the Reagan Library about leadership and compromise. Can you talk about Romney and his ability to compromise, what you've seen?
Well, listen, what I've seen is that Governor Romney, over the course of his entire career, whether it's in the private sector or whether it was in the public sector, has had to bring people together to get things done. In the private sector, he brought folks together, turning around businesses, creating jobs, and you don't do that just by dictating. You do it by forming consensus, giving a clear vision about where you need to go, and then forming consensus. And on the political side of things, I think the governor understands, and we've certainly discussed this, that in a country like ours, you never compromise your principles, but you do understand that you can't get everything you want. And so there is, I think, usually a pretty good space between getting everything you want and compromising your principles. That's the space I've operated in New Jersey, and I know that's the same space that Governor Romney will operate in when he's President Romney.
Governor Romney, the United States Senate is about to vote on legislation that pretty much enacts your proposals on China and trade. Do you support the bill that would impose sanctions on China if they do not float their currency?
I'll have to look at the specific piece of legislation to see which portions I agree with and which portions I disagree with. But I can tell you that if I'm President of the United States, on day one, I will designate China as a currency manipulator, opening the door for us to be able to apply tariffs to their products that are being brought into this country on an unfair basis, as a result of either having stolen intellectual property or as a result of that currency manipulation. And I'll take a look at that legislation. We'll see what develops in the Senate and the House. But I know people wonder, gee, are you concerned about trade? And the answer is yes. I like free trade. I want free trade. I want it with China and with other nations of the world. I proposed a higher level, even more free trade than we currently have under the WTO. But I don't want people to cheat. And China's been cheating. And it's been to the disadvantage of American employers and American jobs. And we keep talking about that and not doing anything about it. And I will if I'm president. Thank you.
Governor Christie, what do you think of the individual mandate to require people to purchase health care coverage, even on the state level, which is what Governor Romney did in Massachusetts?
Well, listen, first of all, I've been really clear on where I stand on that in the federal level, and I'm opposed to it because I don't believe that we should have a one-size-fits-all kind of program for the entire country. As to the individual states, the fact is that each governor should have the opportunity to make a decision about what works best for their states. But I will tell you this, any attempt to try to compare what happened in Massachusetts and what the president has done to the United States of America with his plan is completely intellectually dishonest. Governor Romney did not raise one tax in doing what he did in trying to improve the health care system in Massachusetts. And I will tell you that I'm proud of him for standing up for doing what he believes was right. That may not have been right for New Jersey. It may not be right for Montana. It may not be right for California. Those governors will make that decision. But do not try to equate what's happened in Obamacare with what Governor Romney did in Massachusetts. The President of the United States is raising taxes over and over again to pay for this plan. He still won't pay for it. What Governor Romney did was what he believed was responsible as governor of Massachusetts to allow people to have access to health care. And so all the governors should have the opportunity to make that judgment on their own. And we should not allow people for political purposes to try to be disingenuous about what Governor Romney did and compare that to what happened and what is happening with federal health care legislation supported by the president. It's simply intellectually dishonest to do that. And I'm not going to be somebody who's going to let them compare what Governor Romney did in Massachusetts to what was done here. When he gets on the stage with President Obama this fall, he's going to make very clear to the American people how America would look different, how its health care system would look different and better with Mitt Romney as president, rather than what Barack Obama has done.
Governor Romney, the vice president advised the president on health care?
Actually, I don't believe they were aides. They're people who were consultants and so forth. But I'm sure the president got lots of ideas. But the one person he should have talked to that he never talked to was me. And if he had talked to me, I'd have told him that the plan he was crafting wouldn't work. We certainly can't afford another $1 trillion of federal spending. And that's why, as one of the first acts I'll take as President of the United States, I will direct the Secretary of Health and Human Services to grant a waiver from Obamacare to all 50 states, and then go on to make sure that we repeal Obamacare and replace it with the model I described in Michigan, actually, about 2 or 3 months ago. I think, by the way, I'm the only presidential candidate that has not just spoken about repealing Obamacare, but describing what I would put in its place. I have a plan to do so. That's important.
Governor Christie, what specific action of Governor Romney makes you most want to support him?
I think the biggest reason why I want to support Governor Romney is because I believe he's the best person to be able to articulate Republican values and defeat Barack Obama in November of 2012. And so, the fact is, this is somebody who, over the course of his entire career, has shown people that he is willing to put a plan forward and to talk about the plan and answer questions about his plan. He has laid out the most detailed economic plan of anybody in the race and has been willing to stand behind it. As you just heard him mention, he went to Michigan and laid out a detailed plan of what he would do with health care in America, as opposed to what the President of the United States has done. This is not someone who just is deciding to run for president off the back of an envelope, who just wandered into it and said, hey, this seems like a good idea, let's see how it goes. This is somebody who has thought and listened and planned for a good long period of time about what he would do if he was given the honor of being President of the United States and the responsibility of being President of the United States. And I've said many times, people run for President of the United States because they think in their minds, I think I can win, I hope I'm ready, which is what the President of the United States did 4 years ago, are acting irresponsibly. Mitt Romney says, I hope I can win, I know I'm ready. That's the big difference. That's what the American people will see this November, and that's why they're going to elect him President of the United States.
Governor Romney, Governor Romney.
A major endorsement there for the Mitt Romney campaign just hours.